All right, taking a look at this next question. As always, we'll begin with that question sentence, and it reads, what is her final elevation? So in this problem here, we'll be dealing with some movement, some distance, rate, and time, and we just want to know what that final ending point is. So here we go. A spelunker begins exploring at an elevation of this many feet below sea level. Yeah, sure, it says 120, but the biggest key here, everybody, is that if we're talking about elevation, we have to understand that if we're discussing sea level, this is essentially going to be your zero on a number line. Everything above is going to be counted as positive, and then everything going down is going to count as negative. In the same way that climbing is positive and descending is negative as well. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at what happens in this story. Because it says here that this explorer, this spelunker here, begins exploring at an elevation of 120 feet below sea level. So how I can actually categorize that? I can categorize that as negative 120. So let me grab a color here, and let's just say here is negative 120 feet. This is where we start. Next up, it says she descends at 40 feet per hour for 3 hours. Everyone help me out. From this starting point, when we read this part here, we descend at 40 feet per hour for 3 hours. Are we going up or down? Yeah, we'll be going down in that case. So we'll write that. We'll be going down, and that's going to be a distance of 40 times 3. Because remember, distance equals rate times time. So we have 40 feet per hour times 3 hours. And if we do that right over here, 40 times 3 gives us 120. So we are going down by another 120 feet. And then it says, climbs upward at 60 feet per hour for 3 hours. Everybody climbs upward. I think that's going to be self-explanatory. That means that we'll be going up by a certain amount. And that's going to be 60 feet per hour times 3 hours. So if we go ahead and do that right here on the side, 60 times 5, that's going to give us 300. So that means that we're going up by 300 feet. So this is where things get interesting, because we have to understand how far we go down versus how far we go up so we can see where we end up. And the interesting thing about this is that we actually end up above sea level. Let me show you how. So let's start with that negative 120 right over here. And then everybody, we went down another 120, so we'll subtract 120. And then that climb right over here means that we're adding 300. So everyone help me out. If I start at negative 120, and then I subtract another 120. So if I spend $120 and I spend another $120, where am I at? Yeah, $240 in the negative, $240 in the hole. So there we go, negative 240. And then we add that 300-foot climb. Everyone, help me out. Negative 240 plus 300. That's a difference of 60. But is that going to be a positive 60 or a negative 60? Yeah, that's going to be positive 60 all the way. Because, think about it, if we're going down 240 feet, and then we go up 300, we're going up by more than the depth. So we're going to end up above by that extra 60. Right over here, bam, 60 feet above sea level. And that's why answer choice C is the correct answer. All right, next problem up, but we're going to handle it as always the same exact way, where we just want to understand what the goal of the problem is before we start looking through the information. So first things first, it says over here, on a day with this many hours worked, an hourly rate of this, a flat bonus of that. Again, that's all conditional information. Don't even worry about that yet. What I'm going to concern myself with first is right here. What are the total earnings? That's what I care about, everybody. What are the total earnings? So with that said, I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to underline it. I'm going to fixate my attention again on the phrase total earnings. So with that in my head now, everyone, with that in my head, I'm going to go ahead and start reading through the information. And as soon as I see a connection to that goal, I'm going to make sure I call it out. Watch. Here we go. A worker's pay follows the linear model E equals MH plus B. Again, even if that didn't make sense when you read it at first, don't worry, it will. Just know that there are these letters that make up this equation, and what comes right after this is really important. Watch this. Again, the worker's pay follows the linear model. There's an E, there's an M, there's an H, and there's a B. That's all I care about. And then here, where E is total earnings in dollars. One more time, I'm going to highlight that and y'all tell me, is that what we're looking for? E is total earnings in dollars. Is that what we're looking for as highlighted in that question sentence? Boom, we have found the connection. Immediately right there, we see we're looking for total earnings, and we see that total earnings is defined as E. So when we take a look at this formula, E equals MH plus B, we already know that we are looking for the result here, E, the total earnings. So there we are. Again, there is no need to try to make some sort of mathematical move until you know what the math actually is. So now that we know what the math actually is, multiplying M and H and then adding B, that's the math we have to do. Now, the only final thing we have to be careful about before we actually get to the math is plugging the numbers into the right places. Check this out. Next up, it says H is hours worked. Everybody, how many hours have we worked? How many hours were we given? Right here, on a day with 7 hours worked. Look at that. Great, I'm going to take that. Boom, that's going to be 7. Up next, I can also see, I'm going to highlight this in blue, that M is the hourly pay rate. Again, a rate in dollars per hour. Everybody, what is that hourly rate that we're given in that question sentence? 22. An hourly rate of 22. Booyah. That's M. Boom. Right there. And just to be careful, even though we don't see it, what is that operation happening between 22 and 7? Be careful here. That is multiplication. Absolutely. Multiplication. And then we see lastly that B is a flat bonus in dollars. Okay. Sounds good. Flat bonus. Let me highlight that. I'll highlight that in gray. Flat bonus. And here it is, a flat bonus of 40. So we have mapped that out as well. And B is going to be 40. And there we are. There we are. Now all we have to do is actually calculate, but we don't want to get ahead of ourselves until we get to this point. Everybody, do we understand that before I actually do the calculation? Do you understand that the setup is way more important than the calculation? Good. Take your time on that setup. Get it done the right way. Get it done the right way. So allow me to try to make this slightly bigger there. Perfect. Now let's do the math. 22 multiplied by 7. That's going to be 2 times 7, which is 14. Carry the 1. 2 times 7, which is 14. Carry the 1. And that's going to be 15. And there we are. So we have 154 that will plug right in. And we still have to add that 40. So 154 plus 40, that's going to give us what? Yeah, that would be 194. That's right, everybody. There we are, 194. And we can highlight answer choice D as the correct answer. And there we go. And we can move on to the next one, knowing that, again, it's really about building the connection between the words and the math itself.